Good evening, YouTubers, and welcome to the Kevin T channel. Alright, so tonight we're going to do a review of what we did last night, except with better light this time, on my P4 Beretta P4X 9mm compact. I am removing the ammo, the magazine clip. This is a bullet. Let's review. This is a bullet. That's a brass bullet. Brass casing. Primer. Now once the primer is hit, the bullet is launched. The shell is ejected out of the gun, thus becoming lethal. Otherwise, it is not lethal. It's just a piece of metal that is inactive until the primer is hit, in which has become active at 3,000 feet per second. Make sure you always aim the gun away, and also make sure you always aim at a target in which you destroy. Paper, wood, pick your choice. Now, to prove that this is unloaded, I'm simply going to show you it is definitely unloaded. You can see nothing here, and whatnot. Thus we have the safeties, ambidextrous safeties. They switch on, they switch off. The magazine release right here, and the trigger cannot be pulled if the safety is on. But unfortunately for this, the trigger is pulled when the gun is empty and the safety is on. Now, tonight we're going to go into the inside of the gun. So, to do that, I'm going to pull this switch here and this switch here down. Very hard to do. Sometimes it doesn't want to do that. Ah, I actually did it on the first try. Now, let's analyze the internal parts of the gun. We have right here where it actually ejects and so forth. We have the actual hammer mechanism. Actually, cock it back and it still releases. See that? I can cock it back, still releases. So yes, that is the hammer. Hits the firing pin hits the primer hits the bullet goes this way, the shell casing goes this way, and out of the gun. And you have a rocking back of recoil. The P4X Beretta Compact has some recoil, but not a whole lot. I like it. It's a good gun. Fired it quite a few times, at least close to 1,000, if not at 1,000 rounds. Now let's discuss the inside. The inside has a simple recoil spring. The recoil spring you can pull out like this. I'll put it back in so I know how to get it back together. And this little device that rotates the barrel. Now for the barrel, a little bit of a trick getting this thing out, but let me see here. Oh yes, quite complicated. For the barrel, just a simple piece of piping. You can wipe it down. It's got a little bit of oil, more oil than I was expected in it. But yeah, I can see right through it. You can see right through it. So yes, and it has a little notch. That's because in the Beretta px4 style guns, the shell casing ejects downward, not upward as most other guns do. And it slides back into the slot like so. And we take this and put it like this, and it goes back like that with a fur ball. And as you can see, perfectly normal and everything. Even the barrel is squared. Once the bullet goes out, it ejects downward. Now, to slide it back on, I slide it this way, back on, and it locks back into place. Again, always check your firearms to double check to make sure they're unloaded and the safety is on. Now, when loading the rounds, simply mash, well, this is not going to work very well. Mash the bullet down a little bit, then use the other bullet to mash down. You can also use quick reloaders, which are very good, by the way. I like those. And of course, we have what we call the dummy rounds. I call them because they're dummies. They won't do anything. They just got a little rubber backing on them, if you can see it, that protects the firing pin and so forth and cushions the firing mechanism. Now, I could load this to show you exactly how this works. Simply push it up and see, look, even if I push it in and so forth, and if this slide were already pushed forward, it's not going to load. See, I could load it like this and slide this way. There, it's not even chambered. It's not chambered. That's because I haven't racked the slide back. Now, if I push it back and lock it in, look, still not even chambered. That's the way I like to keep my guns, not chambered. Because I don't know when I'm going to fire this thing. And if I do have to fire this thing, I'm going to take cover and then rack it back and then aim and then have 911 operator on the line asking permission to fire if fired upon. Because I don't want to get caught in no legal matter. Now, feel free to comment on this. This is just my personal opinion, but I'm not going to fire if I don't have to. Now, if someone comes in an AK-47 and starts shooting up the place and aims it right at me, you darn right, I better be able to fire that bad boy, this bad boy. Otherwise, this thing is not going to get locked into place. Now, here's what dummy rounds do. I'm going to load a round like that. Slide goes back forward, and now I can easily take the safety off, trigger it, and fire it without any recoil or anything. Now, they say you're not supposed to dry fire guns, but if you got a rubber piston in there and it's protecting the firing pin, what more could you possibly want? I mean, yeah, military guys fire their dry fire all the time, but still. And of course, the bullet comes out. And look, nothing's fired. You got no, I mean, it's not a live round or anything. It's a dummy round, so you can fire it as many times as you want. But it protects the gun. Now, I'm going to take the safety off, and it'll decock it. Oh, there it goes. Safe, sound, and secure. Now, I do the same thing with the dummy rounds. Place them back, mash the bullet in, done. Keep my gun, check my gun again. See, no round in, no round in, no round out. And nothing in the barrel, see? You can barely see that because there's a little bit of light in there. That's because there's a lot more light tonight. And, like always, I like to keep my guns safe, secure, and a magazine loaded just in case I have to, but there's nothing chambered. I know for a fact there is nothing chambered in this gun. If I load it, I know for darn sure there's nothing chambered. So, first rule of any safety, see? Again, nothing chambered. So, when dealing with kids, make sure you make them understand that guns are dangerous and they're not to be touched nor played with. If I had kids, this wouldn't be in my gun. This would probably be in there just in case they did get a hold of it. But also, I would probably have a wire that went from the bottom of here out through here and locked. So it'd basically be a dead gun. And of course, we also have other measures. You can take a lock safe kit, trigger safeguard, a trigger guard that goes here. Those are well handy, but here's the thing: if someone comes into your house, you may have a little bit of a problem. So yeah, teach your kids gun safety and gun parameters. That's the thing. You teach them gun safety and teach them what to leave alone and what not to touch. And if they're around you, then yeah, that's basically it for Beretta P4 Storm part 1 of 2 or 2 of 2 or lesson 102, whatever you want to call it. I'll put something on my YouTube page, title it, whatever. And that's it. And please subscribe to my channel and be safe with guns. Make sure you double check to make sure if you're cleaning it, make sure you unload it first before you go and clean it. Thank you, and have a nice night. Please subscribe to my channel.